Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I am your host today. We're going to give a recap on week 3, entertaining week 3. But before we do that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. All right, this was a very entertaining week 3. It really was. Very entertaining week 3. We're going to skim through some of the games, and I'm going to give a quick feedback from probably each game that we had yesterday on week 3. So the first game, I'm going to skip the first game, which is the Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. Every time I think about that game, I get frustrated. So we're going to move on. So we have the Bears and the Browns. Justin Fields getting his first start. Odell Beckham Jr. is back also. And the Browns win this game 26-6. Now, Justin Fields was sacked. Speaking of 26-6, he was sacked nine times. He was sacked 9 times, and I think he had about 68 passing yards. He didn't play pretty good. It was his first start. Some people thought they would upset the Browns. I figured like a lot of things had to happen. It was possible. Certain things had to happen for that to happen though. And Justin Fields, this was a bad first game for him against Myles Garrett, who had 4.5 sacks. He was giving our Chandler Jones impression. So the Browns did a great job against the Bears. I mean, they just showed them who's better. And the Browns have a complete team. They have a complete team. Odell Beckham Jr. had a good game coming back his first game. I think he's going to progress as the season goes. I'm excited to see him back. Right? Me personally, I think he's the most athletic person in the NFL. That's my opinion. The person I'm not going to challenge him is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson might be the most athletic, but outside of him, I think it's Odell Beckham Jr. So I'm glad to see him back, and the Browns got that win. So the next game, we have the Ravens get the Lions. Not going to talk about the whole game. We're going to just talk about the clutch moment. Think about this. It's 4th and 19 in your own territory. You are playing away. You convert a first down. And then you get into Tucker's field goal range. He kicks a 66-yard field goal. And he makes it. Not only he makes it, it hits the pole and goes in. That was amazing. So Justin Tuck, he is the GOAT of all kickers. Lamar Jackson, another 4-quarter drive to win a game. And Lamar Jackson, man, he's getting more comfortable in the pocket. So great job to the Ravens win that game 19-17. The Detroit Lions fought hard. They came back. I'm pretty sure they feel as though they deserve that win, but the Ravens did a great job. That kick was a legendary kick. So the Ravens won that game 19-17. And then you got the Colts and the Titans. Man, I picked the Colts to win this division. Now, they have an early, tough schedule, obviously. They played the Seahawks. Last week, they played the Rams. And then they just played the Titans. 3 tough opponents. But the Colts have a red zone issue. They drive the ball all the way down to the red zone, and they can't get a touchdown. They settle for these field goals. Now, I know, and then the Titans did a good job. I believe Tannehill had 2 interceptions, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. But it did have a bad injury with A.J. Brown. He left the game, never returned, right? But they still managed to win the game by more than 2 possessions, and the Titans get their first division win, which was very crucial because they would have went up to the Colts. They both would have been 1-2 with the Colts beating them and having a division win. So great job to the Titans winning that game. And then we had the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Justin Herbert had a great game. But the Kansas City Chiefs turned the ball over too many times. Especially Patrick Mahomes' bad interception he threw with 10 minutes left. You look at the turnovers. They turned the ball over 4 times while the Chargers turned the ball over 0 times. And they still lost by 6 points. That just tells you that the Chiefs lost this game. So if you are a Chiefs fan, you have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, no need to panic. If they just cut half those turnovers down, they would have won this game easily. But Patrick Mahomes, first he did a no-look pass in the first quarter. I think it's the first quarter. Now, of course, it hit the receiver's fingertips, but it could have been a more accurate pass if it wasn't a no look. See, Patrick Mahomes has this magic that he carries. And it could be good for him at times, and at sometimes it could hurt him. So if he would have threw a regular pass, that would have been a first down, and they could have scored a touchdown on that drive. And also throwing that interception was bad, trying to turn nothing into something. And the Chargers were very fortunate, I would say. They had an opportunity to burn the clock out and kick an easy field goal, but yet they scored a touchdown and left 30 seconds left on the clock for Mahomes. But luckily, the defense did a great job holding them off, and they won the game. So great job to the Chargers going into Arrowhead and beating the Kansas City Chiefs. By the way, guys, the Chiefs are last in their division. They are last in their division. Derek Carr and the Raiders, Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos are 3-0. Chargers are 2-1. And you have the Chiefs 1-2. They have a losing record. That's weird, right? We don't say that often. The Chiefs having a losing record. Now the next game we got right here, the Saints versus the Patriots. Now, Mac Jones throw it to the flats, tight end, throw it to the flats. But they did have some turnovers that game that wasn't his fault. Like the pick six that he they say he threw, that wasn't his fault. It was a tip pass. Receiver to the caught that pass. And the Saints defense is looking pretty good. Now, a lot of people got the Saints not making the playoffs. I have no reason why you have them not making the playoffs. I have them making the playoffs still. I had them getting that 5th seed. All right, getting that 5th seed. Now, there are other people like the Cardinals. You got the Cardinals looking at that 5th seed. The Cardinals actually are playing better than I thought they would. I knew they had a good roster, but I didn't think they would perform to the talent they have. Right now, they are 3-0. I had them not making the playoffs. We're gonna get to the Cardinals. But next we got the Falcons and the Giants. The Falcons and the Giants was a sloppy, terrible, poor 0-3 game. 0-2, I should say. But the Falcons, game-winning drive, Matt Ryan came down, got the field goal in, and they beat the Giants. The Giants, man, I said it. I said if they lose this game to the Falcons, they are out of the NFC East race. Point blank. They're not going to the playoffs. They got to figure out what they're going to do with this offense. And they got to figure out what they're going to do with Jason Garrett and Coach Judge. Because something's not working. They have a talented roster, but yet they are losing games. So the Giants need to address that. But great job to the Falcons getting their first win of the season. And then we had the Bengals and the Steelers. Now, without TJ Watt, that defense looked totally different. And also, Ben Roethlisberger need to hang it up. The Steelers need to go surf. What the Steelers should have done is drafted a quarterback that's going to watch Ben Roethlisberger and prepare that person and step in once Roethlisberger retire. Excuse me, because it's time. It's time to retire Ben Roethlisberger. It is time. All right? So let's go next. Cardinals and the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars the Cardinals tried to kick over a 62-yard field goal. And then the Jaguars ran it back. That was awesome. But the Cardinals' defense looked so good. They scored all these unanswered points. They were down. A lot of people thought the Cardinals were going to lose, and the defense stepped up. Now the defense stepped up. Captain Kirk stepped up, too, on the offensive side. Captain Kirk has been playing so good for the Cardinals, a wide receiver. And Kyler Murray, man, he's having an MVP season. So keep a lookout on Kyler Murray. The Broncos get the Jets. The Broncos win 26-0. This defense looks so elite. Now, granted, it is the Jets we're talking about, but this defense is shutting people down. I have them finishing before the season. I think I said top 2, top 3, I think. Right? Because I knew they had people coming back from injury. And they drafted Patriots team, who I really, really like. And then we have the Dolphins and the Raiders. This game was very entertaining. Jacoby Brissett did play very good in the second half. He did enough to win that game. Now, I believe that was a pass interference in overtime. When he threw that bomb in the end zone, that was a pass interference. They did not call that. But Derek Carr get the ball back. And then also, it's 4th and 2. They settled for a field goal, which I think they should have just went for. They should have went for and tried to get a touchdown. Don't settle for field goals. Win this game. Don't settle for. They basically settled for a tie. I would have went for that and tried to win that game, but yet they kicked the field goal. Derek Carr gets the ball back. Another clutch game-winning drive, field goal, Raiders win. Raiders are 3-0 still. I had the Raiders not making the playoffs, and I still believe that. I'm sticking to my guns. They are not making the playoffs. But right now, they are undefeated, 3-0. And then we have the Vikings and the Seahawks. Y'all, Kirk Cousins is playing well, guys. Kirk Cousins is playing very well. They should have won last game, but the kicker missed a field goal. The Vikings should be 2-1. They play real good. Kirk Cousins is playing really good, guys. Keep an eye on the Vikings. They might challenge the Green Bay Packers this year for that division. I don't know. We'll see. And the Rams versus the Buccaneers. Now, the Rams have a complete team. The Rams are the Broncos. Sorry, not Broncos. The Rams are like the Browns. The Browns have a complete team. So does the Rams. The only difference, the Browns have Baker Mayfield. The Rams have Matthew Stafford. Granted, Matthew Stafford made a lot of throws that were not good. He underthrew Deshaun Jackson twice. Now, they should have blew him out the window, blew the doors out the Buccaneers. But Matthew Stafford, he was off target a lot of times this game. But granted, they still won the game, and he still got his touchdown for Deshaun Jackson. And that defense they only sacked Brady once, I believe, but they had a lot of pressure on Brady the whole game. So Brady is always known for getting the ball out very quick. He was on his toes the whole game. And, of course, he had a lot of passing yards because they were playing from behind. But he only threw one touchdown. At the start of the season, throwing 9 touchdowns, he only threw one. He rushed one also. So now he has 11 total. But he only threw for 10. Now he's had 10 touchdowns for the year. So they actually slowed him down. So great job to the Rams. Now, I know Antonio Brown wasn't there. They never won receivers, in my opinion. But they still have without Antonio Brown, they still have the greatest receiving core in the NFL. Right? And Tom Brady only scored one touchdown. So great job to the Rams defense for that. And then the 49ers and the Packers. This game right here was very entertaining. It was very, very entertaining. Now, the first half is looking like the 49ers going to get blown out. But then you see the momentum switch when they got that. Before the half was over, it was a long possession. And then Trey Lance came in, got a touchdown. That was awesome. They get the ball back in the second half, score another touchdown. They took 8 minutes off the clock. Almost 8 minutes off the clock. So the Packers offense was cold. And then the Packers get the ball. I believe it was a 3-and-out. But I knew they punt the ball. 49ers get the ball back. They didn't score. Now, they had a great game. It was a great game. But when you give Aaron Rodgers 30 seconds left to get a field goal, that's a problem. And the defense, you know who they are throwing the ball to. You know who Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball to. Devontae Adams. Everybody knew what was going on. But Devontae Adams, in the middle of the field, wide open. Not say he's wide open, but it's a great pass. But it was wide open. Poor defense by the 49ers. Now, they do have a lot of injuries. They have a lot of people in the back end that's not elite or good, I should say. Not even elite, just good. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes going on. Like, for example, the touchdown that Aaron Rodgers threw in the corner of the end zone. That was bad coverage by that safety. I don't know his name. It was bad coverage. Now, the 49ers now are 2-1. I had the 49ers finishing second in the NFC. I still want to stick by that. Now, I made this prediction before they had all these injuries. Before the season started, obviously. Now they have all these injuries. I'm going to stick to my guns and say the 49ers are going to win. Not win, but actually be number 2 in the NFC East and make it all the way to the NFC East. But great job to the Packers. Great job to the Devontae Adams, not scoring the touchdown for the first 2 games. He kicks off the game by scoring a touchdown. So he had a great game. And they took advantage of that weak secondary, getting 3 pass interference calls on them, which I think was smart by Aaron Rodgers. Right? That's just veteran play. So Aaron Rodgers looked great today. He looked great this Sunday. And hopefully he keep this performance up, because we all know the controversy they had in the all season. Now they got to transition this play throughout the whole season into the postseason. That's the key. Aaron Rodgers have a lot of great regular seasons, but we want to see him have success more often in the postseason. All right, so this was an exciting week 3. I'm looking forward to the Monday night game tomorrow. I will have another video about that tomorrow. For Tuesday morning, so make sure you tune in for that. And thank you for staying. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Great job. You made it to the end. I really appreciate that. You made it to the end. Now, before you leave this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell also so you can be notified when we drop our next video. And lastly, make sure use the comment section. Put your comments down. Tell me what you think about this topic we just went over. Tell me your comments, your opinions, and maybe we can have a chat debate in the comments. So I appreciate you guys for staying, and I'll see you at the next show.